Having good audio, super important. If you have bad audio, people just won't watch your videos. Like, it's so important to make sure your audio is good so that people aren't cringing watching through your videos. So the first thing you need to know is, yo Agwan, hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to fix audio for your YouTube videos so that your audio is sounding better, it's sounding cleaner, and it's sounding more professional. This will also help make your beat making tutorials better. Like, for example, if you watch my video on how to make a beat making tutorial or beat making video, this is going to help you out. Even if you just make YouTube videos on whatever, this is going to help you out a lot as well. So first of all, my question of the day is, what do you usually use to clean up your audio for your videos? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, let's bring up Camtasia. Wrong thing. Let's bring up Camtasia because this is what I use for all my recording, like screen recording purposes, and basically all my YouTube videos these days. And I'm going to quickly walk you through the process on how to get your audio out of Camtasia so that you can get in the program that I actually use to deal with all my audio, which is Adobe Audition. So in order to get your audio out of Camtasia, what you want to do is make sure that you've turned off every other track, okay? And then make sure you've only got the track that you want to deal with open or visible, basically. And that will usually be your vocal track, and that's the track that I'm going to be talking about in terms of this. So you want your track with the vocals on to be the main track. And then you go to export, and then you go to export audio only, and that will export your audio only. Also, before you even do that, you do want to make sure that you have your audio in mono. So let's see if we can find something with some audio over here. There's a loop. Make sure it's mixed to mono, especially if you're using the Rode mic or any good mic, it will record in mono. So make sure you've done that first, and then you can export it like I just showed you. Now I'm going to open up Adobe Audition, and I'm going to show you the 3-step process that I use to clean up my audio and have it sounding more professional. Now, this is something that I've just recently started doing because it does get in the way of my workflow process. Like, I'd prefer if I could do everything within Camtasia, but Camtasia's noise reduction isn't good enough. Like, it's just not where it needs to be. It's very spotty and it doesn't sound great. So I needed to export my audio to another DAW or Adobe Audition in order to actually edit the audio. Like, I got a comment on one of my videos a little while ago of some dude saying that my audio, you know, basically that my audio was a bit whack in it, and I understood that I had like noise from my computer in the background of my audio, but I just didn't think anyone noticed. But obviously that guy noticed, so it made me realize, okay, let me step this up and make sure that my audio is beautiful. As an artist, I should make sure that the audio for my videos are beautiful as well. So basically what happens here is I suggest you export your audio in a specific folder. Then you can open that folder in Adobe Audition like I did. You can just, you know, go to your shortcut and then, or go on the left hand side and go to the folder, and then you just want to double click the audio file. Now, because I've got a template that goes on for like an hour long, it always exports my audio like an hour longer than it needs to be. Well, it goes up to an hour basically. So all I'm doing is I'm just selecting that and getting rid of that basically. Like, we're not going to use any of this. So how do I get my audio to sound much better? Now, I've got 3 effects that I use. I go to effects, I go to VST, I go to effect, I go to isotope, and I go to RX7. Let's come down here. RX7 vocal denoise. Now, isotope is my favorite VST plugin for stuff like this, for audio manipulation and cleaning up stuff and to just get things sounding great. I highly suggest you grab their plugins. I'll leave a link down below. Go to jcarteray.com/isotope plugins, and that should bring you to, I think it's Plugin Boutique, where you can buy a variety of isotope plugins. And that, if you go through that link, that helps, so please go through that link. Now, I opened up, I believe this is a preset that was just here already, or I went to learn. I don't 100% remember what I did here, But this is what I'm using now. Like, I got it on dialogue, I got it on surgical. These are the threshold, this is the reduction, this is the EQ curve, and then I'll just apply this, and this will basically denoise. Like, let's actually get rid of that so you can actually hear the noise. Okay, this is some noise. Okay, lucky you can't really hear beat breakdown videos. You know how this goes. So I'm gonna go to pattern, we're gonna bring up the channel rack down a little bit, come right back, and okay, the noise doesn't actually sound too bad here, but you see that? That's noise. Yeah, if I turned it up, if I compress this, you'd hear the noise. Yeah, let me actually do that so you can see exactly what's going on. Let's add a compressor. Let's go to Ozone 9 Dynamics, and let's actually listen back. You hear that? You hear that? That's my computer whirring. That's the computer noise that I've got going on in the back of my head right now, because my computer's constantly making that noise. That's the computer fan. Yeah? And when you add some compressor and stuff, it brings everything up. So you're going to hear that way, way worse. So before you add the compressor, we gotta get rid of that noise. So the vocal denoise is gonna help us out with that. That's gonna get rid of all the noise in the background so that we can add our EQ and then we can add our compressor. So make sure to follow along. This is gonna be very, very important. So now we should have some noise reduction. See, the levels are much lower, although there's stuff moving around, so you can still kind of hear that. But this is like extreme because look, there's nothing going on right here. Like if you like listen to something like this before we get in, you should hear less noise in the background, but you're not really gonna notice it until I add on that compressor again. So before we add on a compressor, because we don't want to just compress all the bad EQs, we're gonna go to my Ozone 9 equalizer. Now I'm using all isotope plugins. I highly suggest you get their RX7 vocal denoiser if you can. But like EQ and compression, you can pretty much use any plugins. But I use isotope ozone in it because it's just beautiful and it does great stuff. But for this particular video, I'm using Adobe Audition. I'll leave a link down below to that as well. But you can use any DAW you want, except for FL Studio. I wouldn't use FL Studio because FL Studio just isn't built to deal with long audio files. That's why I don't do this sort of stuff in there. I would suggest you use something like Studio One, or if you've got Pro Tools, that Logic, that sort of stuff. You can use pretty much any other DAW to add these effects. So here I've got a preset called lead vocal, and let's listen to that. Down, I'm gonna quickly show you what the beat sounds like so you know if you even want. And we can do a flat high pass to about 150. And let me turn off because we don't need all that low end. And then we got, you know, a few dips around here. I'm not going super surgical like I'm making a song because it's just not necessary for this. It's just, you know, dialogue audio. We don't need to make sure it's the most beautiful dialogue audio for YouTube or whatever. We just apply some quick presets to get us to a good standard, a professional standard of having our audio sound like good audio, basically. And you can see it's cleaned up a lot of the stuff that was happening around here. Like the levels are way lower. You see that? Because we've gotten rid of that low end, which houses a lot of unneeded frequencies that we just really don't need. That's just giving us noise and just making things sound terrible. So we've got the denoise from RX7, the voice denoise. Then we've got the Ozone 9 equalizer. And then I go for the Ozone 9 Dynamics, which is our compressor. Now you can use Neutron from iZotope as well, or as I said, you can use the compressor that you're more comfortable with. I think even Adobe Audition comes with some compressors, and I'm not sure if it's got EQ. It should have EQ though. And then this is the compressor. So as you can hear, the noise, it's like it's not even there. Gunna or even Lil Key can probably get on this, to be honest. Now, and as you can hear in the speaking parts, you can't hear any noise. You can't hear that fan whirring in the background like it is whirring right now. But you won't hear it because I would have dealt with this audio so that the whirring fan that I'm listening to doesn't exist. So we basically just use that preset. I'm going to go back into that because I'm unsure. I didn't walk you through the preset. So let's actually cancel this. Go to effects, VST, effect, isotope, ozone 9 dynamics. And I'm using the vocal brightness preset. And then you can adjust your compressor depending on how loud you want this. But I'm going to make it louder in Camtasia anyways, because I'll just raise it all to 170, because that's just the number that I've found works really, really well. But I just use this quick preset because that's why I really, really like isotope plugins, because they come with a bunch of presets that make working with them very, very easy and very, very straightforward. And then we apply this. And after this is done, our audio will be done, and then we'll just drag it into our Camtasia session. I'm not going to do that in this video because this would be dragging it into this Camtasia session that I'm using to record this. But I've now got this ready for later. I'm going to be showing you how to make a beat for Young Thug or Gunna that sounds much cleaner than it did before. I'm unsure if I can turn my effects off. Yeah. Or even Lil Key can probably get on this, to be honest. You see how that sounds? Sounds weak. Now we listen back. Now, question of the sounds clean. That's what you want. You want your clean sounding vocals. And to get it, to export it so that you can drag it into your actual, well, video editor. I don't know if you're using Camtasia. I was going to say Camtasia. Whatever video editor you're using, you just click Control S to save. And then once you save, that same WAV file that you used to bring in here will now be changed to this WAV file that's in here. Like, it just automatically basically overwrites that. So keep that in mind as well. You don't need to go to export, or what did I used to use? Export multi-track or stuff like that. See how that was once an hour and now it's 70 minutes? If you didn't see that, click the left arrow, you'll see it. It was an hour, now it's like 17 minutes. So that is how long this clip is, and it's ready to be dragged into wherever you want to drag it into. You just need to go to the actual file now. And when you actually do go to your folder that you've put it into, you'll get two files. So this is, where is it? How to make a Young Thug type beat. This is the file that you want to use, the one with the disc on it. This is the WAV file. This is the Adobe Audition file, okay, or the Adobe Audition peak data file. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming if I double clicked it, it would open up Adobe Audition or something like that. I don't know. But this WAV file is the WAV file that you actually need to drag into your actual video editing software and get that beautifully clean audio. So that is how you fix your audio for your YouTube videos. 3-step process: denoiser, EQing, and compression. You can add a de-esser and that sort of stuff if you really want to get super in depth. I wanted to keep this as simple as possible, and this is the process that I've been using for my, last few videos, and I'm going to be using this for the future videos as well. You can check it out. Well, you'll hear it in this video. You can hear it in this video right now. Remember, you can get all your iZotope plugins using the link down below. Go to jcartarray.com/iZotope plugins. And if you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next video where you learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. Also, there will be some other links to like Camtasia and Adobe Audition and pretty much all the tools that I've used in this video. So check that description so you can grab those tools. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.